welcome to another episode of our video. Just like our previous video, in this video, we will be making reviews and commenting on world events discussed by our seniors. We will also be relating these events to international organizations by applying theories and sub-theories of international relations. These events are the Enlightenment era, the Industrial Revolution, both World War One and World War Two, and the Cold War. So, what do we know about the Enlightenment era and the Industrial Revolution, Simon?
So, the Enlightenment era was an intellectual movement in the 17th and 18th century. It was aimed to improve society through fact based and reasoning inquiry. The Enlightenment introduced secular thinking in Europe, changing how people viewed liberty, equality, and individual rights. These ideas formed the foundation of the world's strongest democracies, contemporary history 2023. As for industrial era, according to ESHRA 2019, in the early 21st century, industrialization was linked with the transitioning from agrarian and handicraft economies to centralized machine production. Great Britain is often credited as the first to experience this shift during the Industrial Revolution, which is seen as the catalyst for modern economic growth. Great Britain's industrial history still shapes the modern views on economic development, highlighting the importance of institutions like elected parliaments, national banks, property rights, limited government, and individualism.
So, how can these events be viewed from the perspective of international relations?
The previous video explained well on how realism and structural realism connect to the Enlightenment era and Industrial Revolution by stating that dimension theory and sub-theory had an enormous impact on the two events. However, the statement does not emphasize the insight into how exactly the theories were connected to the events by providing relevant examples. Therefore, to support their statement, which realism and structural realism play major roles during the Enlightenment era and the Industrial Revolution. Firstly, in terms of the Enlightenment era, one good example is the concept of the security dilemma. According to Davis 1978, security dilemma is where one state's efforts to increase its security can inadvertently threaten others, reflecting Hobbesian ideas about human nature and competition. Another example is the balance of power theory. This suggests that the states will act to prevent any one state from becoming too powerful, which directly reflects the anarchic nature of international relations as understood during the Enlightenment era, which is according to Wu 2017. Secondly, regarding the Industrial Revolution, an example is the scramble for Africa. The scramble for Africa in the late 19th century signifies how industrialized nations competed for colonies to secure raw materials and markets for their goods. This competition was driven by the realist notion that power and security are paramount in international relations, according to Griffith's 1986 thing.
According to the video reviewed, it was stated that the Enlightenment era and the Industrial Revolution led new ideas about politics and society, which eventually led to World War One and World War Two and the Cold War. So, Theophilus, what do you think?
I think it is correct, but according to Upsbound 1987, the Industrial Revolution brought about unprecedented advancement in technology and production capabilities. It enabled nations to mass produce weapons, leading to militarization of European powers, mean that armies could be mobilized quickly and battle could be fought on a much larger scale.
Thank you, Theophilus, for clarifying and connecting these events. These events are also mentioned in the video. So, Chinua, can you comment and give your thought on the World Wars and the Cold War?
So as stated in the previous video, World War One happened in response to the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. In addition, World War II lasted from 1939 to 1945 as a result of the invasion of Poland by Germany. On the other hand, the Cold War was a tense period between the Soviet Union and the United States, almost leading to a nuclear war. It was fueled by the distrust and fear of one side becoming too powerful. So, to add on, in regards to the World War One, there are other causes apart from the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. Assassination of the Archduke was just the fuel to the fire.
Thank you, Chinua. As we have learned, The wars that occurred were a result of conflict in international relations between states. According to study.com 2023, apart from state actors, there are also non-state actors or international organizations that play a vital part in solving global conflicts and other matters of international relations. So, Theophilus, what are some of the IOs in PNG and other regions, and what are the IR theories that they use in international relations?
So based on the previous video, the only IO that was dated was the International Committee of Red Cross, which is an international humanitarian organization dedicated to protecting and assisting individuals affected by armed conflicts and other situations of violence. Adding on to that, there are many other IOs established in Papua New Guinea and other Pacific island countries. And to name some of them, we have the European Union, IMF, and the ILO, or International Labour Organization. The establishment of international organizations like the IMF or International Monetary Fund and the World Bank also reflect liberal principles of economic interdependence and cooperation.
Thank you, Theophilus. Francis, with what you have learned, can you explain what theories of IR were used to solve the World Wars and the Cold War?
Firstly, according to CA 2001, World War I ended with the signing of the Treaty of Versailles in 1919. In terms of international relation theory, the resolution of World War I is often associated with liberalism. The creation of League of Nations is seen as a manifestation of liberalism, which emphasizes cooperation among states, international institutions, and collective security. However, the failure of the League and the harsh nature of Treaty of Versailles can also be interpreted through a realist lens. Realism suggests that the treaty ignored the balance of power and set the stage of future conflicts by treating Germany harshly. Secondly, World War II ended with the unconditional surrender of Germany in May 1945 and Japan in August 1945. The resolution of this war is consistent with liberalism, which emphasizes the use of institutions such as the United Nations to prevent future conflicts by promoting cooperation and collective security. Lastly, the Cold War. According to Walsh 1979, the Cold War ended in 1991 without direct military conflict between the superpowers but through diplomatic efforts.
Thank you, Francis, and thank you, everyone, including the viewers, for your participation. We have finally come to the end of our video.